All right, now we start to look at this 17th hole here. And when you stand up on this par 3, you stand up on any par 3 that's got water on it, your eye automatically goes to this water right in here. This is where your eye is seeing, and you're not seeing this target here, nor are you seeing a flag on this target. So what are we going to do in order for us to be able to be successful when we get into this position? Well, there's a couple of things. And one of the things that you need to understand is this golf ball is not going to curve a lot. It's just not going to curve much. So what we want to do is we want to be able to hit a shot and show you how much this isn't going to curve. I'm just going to aim this sort of at the middle of the flag, at the middle of the green here. Shot's about 140 yards. That's a 9-iron shot there. Now, I hit that in the air about 139. So good shot. Greg, do me a favor and just replay that. And I want everybody to see how much this ball does not curve. Because what you're going to see when this comes down, see, there's not much curve there at all. And the reason why is because I've got a very lofted club. This club is a 9-iron. There's not going to be much curve. So when we start to do this, what I want you to realize is that in order for you to be successful, you have to make sure you're focusing on the start line of the shot. And the start line is going to be key. Now, we got to make solid contact, which I'm going to get to in a second. And we've got to make sure we get a target out there, which I'm going to get to in a second. But the start line's critical. So we're going to have two targets when we play this shot. One target's going to be up there. It's going to be a high target. Let's say it's going to be one of those trees in the distance. And then the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I get an intermediate target that's right on the line of my golf ball to the high target, that high tree where I'm starting the shot. So I'm going to get back here like this, pick my start line, which I've got there right at that. So I'm going to aim that just over that right there, that little spot. I get set up in here like this. And now all I'm going to do is just make my swing. And I'm going to get to this, what you're going to think about in a second. What you're going to see is that that start line is right at that tree. It's going to grab the center of the green there. Never brought anything into play. Greg, let's play that. Let's watch that one again. You can see how that starts right at that tree, comes down right on that tree. Again, not a lot of curve in that. Even though that had almost 1,000 RPMs of side spin, it really didn't curve much. That probably moved maybe 6 or 7 feet. It wasn't a lot. So you're going to get this start line. You're going to get that start line. That's what that target up there. That's what you're going to pay attention to. Now, here's what I want you to pay attention to now. How do we know what we're going to aim at? Well, a lot's going to depend on what you tend to do with your shots. Do you tend to curve it to the right? Do you tend to curve it to the left? If you tend to curve it to the right, then you're going to aim a little bit more to the left. We never want to get this shot to the right of that flag. Ability level is going to be a big part of this. So what we're going to do is now I'm going to move this in a little bit to the right because for me, I can play this not quite at the flag, just a little left of the flag and maybe just cut this just a bit. So I get my target. I got my intermediate target right here. Now I set into what I want to set into. Make sure I check all that. Now I'll make my motion. So I started that at that tree that's just to the left of the flag. And could have hit it a little bit harder, but still what you can see is that I didn't bring the water into play. I hit a solid shot there. Now, let's just say for the sake of argument that you hit that shot, you're trying to figure out, well, what is it that I need to think about? Well, what I want you to think about when you're standing over this, because you're nervous, because there's water all over the place. What I want you to think about here is making sure that you let your body rotate. Many people get on this, and you in particular, what you're doing is you're not getting the solid strike. You're not getting all the distance because you're frozen. What I want you to be thinking about is letting the body turn. So when I hit that shot there, it went 128 yards. I've got to get this thing to get to 138 yards. That's the shot that I'm trying to hit. I think the flag is at 139, so I need 138 out of this. So my body has to make this rotation in the backswing, and I'm going to be thinking about getting my back to the target. That's one of the keys to that successful rotation. So now I make that shot, and you can see how successful that is. That's right at the center of the green, exactly the way I want it to go. So now I want you to understand this third part. You're playing great, and you're a very talented player. Scratch, single digit, whatever it is. The water doesn't intimidate you. The whole location is comfortable for you. And maybe you're in a match play situation. You need to make birdie. We need to force something. So what are we going to do? Well, this is what we're doing. We're getting into this. We're going to focus on all the things we've thought about. The shoulders are going to make that good turn so my back is to the target. I've got my intermediate target between here and what I'm aiming at. And what I'm aiming over there is I'm aiming at a high target, the highest target I can get. So I'm going to pick a little piece of tree, maybe a leaf or a branch or something like that I'm looking at that's just above the flag. Start back here, get my intermediate target. It's going to be right there. Now I'm coming in. There's my intermediate target right there. Set that club face down at that spot. Make sure I'm lined up properly. Here we go. I don't have to worry about losing this to the right because all I got to do is make sure I hit this solidly and start it on the line I intend. Here we go. Oh yeah, solid shot there. Not a lot of curve. Kind of going right at the, whoa, wow, it went in the hole. Oh my God. Yo, oh, wow. Nice work. Yeah, drinks on you. Holy cow. Hey, Greg, you got to play that again. You got to play that again. 11 years I've been doing this, and I've never done this before. We took the flag out of the hole. Watch this thing with the tracer on. Bink, bink, right in the hole. Holy cow. All right, hold on a second. I got to calm down. It doesn't happen every day. In fact, I said 11 years I've been doing this, hitting into Sims. First time ever. Obviously very exciting. If you're wondering, it was a 9-iron. All right, so now let's wrap this all up so you understand. First, you're dealing with a club that's got a lot of loft. It's not going to have a lot of curve to it. So you don't have to worry about not being successful by missing the shot left or missing the shot right by curve. You've got to make sure that you focus on that start line, and that's where those two targets are going to come into play. So we're going to pick that high target in the trees back there, whatever it is, that's going to be our focal point, and we're going to use this target down in front of the golf ball to make sure we've lined up properly, maintain that target, and focus on getting that golf ball to go over there. And then reminding you, the last thing you're focusing on is making sure you get that good full turn. That's going to help keep your tempo in order, give you that consistent distance that you expect and that you hope for. And when you do that, well, you'll get something like that.